the Newcastle Pirate from Newcastle, Delaware, Jimmy Bennett.
In the 1980s and 90s, Jimmy Bennett was a regular in the Delaware Valley folk country music circuit.
We got a big push one year. He put a band together. We wound up playing, opening for Bonnie Raitt, Conway Twitty, who else? Los Lobos at the Folk Festival.
After taking a full-time firefighting and paramedic job in the late 90s, Bennett stopped playing gigs, but he often turned to his trusty six-string for relaxation at home. That all changed in 2012, when Bennett suffered a stroke that left him largely incapacitated on his right side. He has slowly recovered but still uses a cane and has limited use of his right arm and strum hand. So in the last 6 years, he rarely picked up his beloved axe.
I played for a long time, and after the stroke, I really missed it. I picked mine up, found out that I have an old 45-year-old Guild guitar. Picked it up, tried to play it, couldn't, cried like a baby.
This spring, though, a gift from his grandson Andy turned Bennett's life around. But this wasn't something Andy picked up at a store. It was something the youngster built himself at William Penn High School. Andy, a sophomore, takes construction technology, one of the career pathways at Delaware's largest secondary school. Penn teacher Mac Emerson says his class is not your father's woodshop.
Woodshop before was building knickknacks, napkin holders, the little roll of paper that you put next to your phone, take notes, and you can pull it down. Now we cover everything from cabinet making, framing, siding, custom casework, arbors, custom lattice work, that's what the cedar's for, to cases, cabinets for the office. So now it's more career focused, not just go in and make a project, take home to mom.
Emerson, who fiddles with the guitar, added a music element to his curriculum the past year. It stemmed from a teaching seminar where his group built an electric guitar from a kit. So this year he decided to make one for William Penn. His students were delighted.
They're like, I'd really like to do that. I was like, well, let's work it out so we can get you a kit.
So two students, Joseph Magana and Bennett's grandson Andy Walsh, plucked down $130 apiece for the kits. They spent several weeks assembling the pieces, performing copious sanding of the body, neck, and head, and applying what seemed like endless coats of polish.
A lot of sanding, a lot. It was to the point where, like, you know, my fingers would start to hurt. I had to, like, you know, put on, like, Band-Aids so that, you know, it wouldn't rough up my fingers.
It's yours.
Oh, nice.
Magana presented his guitar to his father Fabian in May when WHYY visited the workshop. Fabian, who has a renovation business, is a newcomer at guitar, but he said his son's gift will spur him to learn the instrument.
You know, I've done woodwork myself, and I can tell that he actually worked hard for it. So I was very surprised, and I'm really happy. It's not something that you go and buy and give somebody. You build it yourself with your own hands. I mean, that means a lot.
For Bennett, the gift from his grandson has been transformative.
I knew he played all the time because when we were little, he used to play in the living room while we all would watch.
Andy said the guitar has re-inspired his grandpa.
I think it just feels good, and I think it gave him a reason to get practicing again.
When we visited William Penn in May, Bennett brought the guitar to school, but said he was still struggling to strum and hadn't played it much.
Can't do it.
But prompted by us, he agreed to try. The notes he struck were tender and sweet, a testament to his dormant talent, but he was clearly frustrated with his inability to really play.
It's hard, it's embarrassing, because I know what it's supposed to sound like. Where you used to not have to look at the guitar to know where your right hand was or what string it was hitting. Now I have to look, I have to concentrate.
When it was suggested that continuing to practice could jumpstart his stymied rehabilitation, Bennett agreed.
Absolutely, absolutely. This gives me a reason to.
WHYY visited Bennett again in June. This time he was buoyant, and it was clear he had been playing, for himself and for Andy.
For him to spend the time that he did on that thing, I have to try to play it, I have to. He is the reason for all of this right now, yeah.
Bennett was joined that day by his old bandmate, local folk legend John Flynn.
He's an incredibly talented musician. he's got the soul and the ear that's as good as anybody for the kind of music that I love.
Then the two men, the legend and his rejuvenated partner, treated us to a ringing rendition of a country rock classic written by Chris Christopherson and made famous by Janis Joplin.
Buddy, that was good enough.